I entitled today's homily, Faithless Religion. And I begin with the question, is it possible to have religion without faith? And my answer is, yes. And I think this is what Jesus is denouncing in today's gospel. When religion is reduced to law, or to a set of rules and regulations, it becomes a curse, not a blessing. It becomes a burden, not a source of spiritual strength. One of the terms I am not very fond of in our Catholic Christian tradition is the concept of holiday of obligation. Of course, it goes with the automatic notion that if one violated the obligation, that person has committed a sin. When we reduce the Sunday Eucharist to an obligation, we're back again to the religion of the Pharisees, the very thing Jesus denounced. Faith, brothers and sisters, is a commitment, not a set of commandments to comply with. The commandments themselves are meaningless without commitment at their foundation. The commitment to a relationship which we call a covenant. That is why Jesus summarized the commandments to love of God above all and love of neighbor as oneself. And a few days ago, we also heard St. Paul saying, love fulfills the commandments. You see, God does not impose. God merely proposes. God's love comes to us as an invitation, waiting for a free response. And faith is just getting started when we learn to respond with love to God's offer of love. Remove the love, there is no faith to talk about. Remove the faith, religion becomes meaningless, perhaps even oppressive. In a family recollection that I gave one time, I said this, and one of the boys, a young lawyer from the second generation, kept looking at his mother with a grin, as if he felt vindicated by the words. He even rubbed it in during the break within his mother's hearing. He said, "Bishop, thank you for what you said. I think my mother needed to hear that. She's the one who keeps reminding me about my Sunday obligation. Sometimes I argue with her and tell her, what's the use of attending if I will not be spiritually present anyway?" And here is what I said to him in reply. "I wonder what you meant by not being spiritually present. Did you mean indisposed? Or not feeling like it?" And he nodded. Then I proceeded. "You are asking if it would be better to not do something you believe that you should be doing because you don't feel like it. Well, here is my 2 cents worth of thought in answer to your question." I said, think about everything that you did when you were reviewing for your bar exams, in your ardent desire to become a lawyer. Did you always feel like it? And yet you did it anyway and never regretted it, right? Or think about the many times your parents had to get up in the middle of the night to change your diaper when you were a baby. Do you think they always felt disposed to do that for you? I am sure sometimes they also felt tired or sleepy or indisposed, or as you put it, not spiritually present. But they did it anyway, for love of you. You see, I said to him, love is not just about feelings. It is more about the will to give oneself for a purpose or for the good of the beloved, even at the face of all odds, even when inconvenient. I think the real question is going to Mass for you already an act of love? Or is it just about going through the motions of complying with an obligation? I said, the answer is yours. And then I ended by reiterating my previous ideas. You see, I said, God never forces His love on us. He only awaits a free response. But true freedom is realized only in commitment. A committed love that is able to rise above sheer feelings.